welcome to Live Yoga Channel. I'm Terra, this is Evan. We meet here twice a week to teach a classical hatha yoga practice. So thanks so much for joining us. We love that we get to share this in-home practice with you and grow our channel here on YouTube. So if this is your first time here and you haven't subscribed yet, please smash that subscribe button. Join us for hatha yoga as well as much more. We also do chair yoga and yoga for the organs. But let's go ahead and get started. So roll out your mat and find some comfort in a cross-legged position. It's okay if you have space in between the ankles and your pelvis. Just find a comfortable space so that your spine can be long and you can plug those sits bones into the earth and really feel rooted and supported beneath you. Go ahead and roll the shoulders up and back and take your palms to your thighs, face up. Let your thumb and first finger come together. Tilt your chin down ever so slightly so that the back of the neck is long. Let the eyes close gently. And then begin to draw your awareness to that space in the upper lip where the breath moves in and out of the nostrils. Let's go ahead and let go of our to-do list for today or what we've been doing in the past, and really give ourselves permission for this next hour to focus inwards. Take our attention on ourselves so that we can clarify, transform the elements, the earth elements of our body, earth, air, water, fire, and space. We're going to use the breath as our guide here, and so I'll offer variations throughout the practice, and I'm relying on you to be the best judge of whether you can do the pose, if you need to back off some, or if you can take it a little further. And we do this by paying attention to our breath. If there's strain and struggle in the breath and it's hard to breathe, this is your body communicating that it's a good time to back off some. If it's easy and you're comfortable in your breath and there's a smile on your face and you're feeling confident to take it to the next pose, that's when you take it to the next variation. Go ahead and open the eyes and we'll get started with a round of pranayama. Kapalabhati, this is the skull shining breath. So we're going to focus on a forceful exhalation through the nose, and it's a passive inhalation to follow. So as you exhale, you're also going to be drawing the belly button back. You're going to squeeze it back towards the spine. It'll be like a pumping action. So go ahead and we'll do together to start. Go ahead and inhale. Exhale, 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 exhale. Keep going. Exhale, 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 exhale. All the breath. Kumbha, let's do breath retention. Inhale, half lung of air. Pause. We're going to turn our palms down, draw the shoulders up to the ears, tuck that chin in towards the chest. Take your eye gaze with your eyes closed. Focus in between the eyebrows up towards the eyebrow center. Draw your pelvic floor up as if you're keeping yourself from going to the loo. Hold here for as long as comfortable, and when you need the breath, simply release the holds. Sip in a bit more air. Exhale slowly. Beautiful. This helps to activate the friendly flora in the guts, as well as clear debris in the mind space. Next, let's move to yoga for the eyes. So we're going to open the eyes, keeping the head and neck center facing forward. We're going to move only the eyeballs, stretching the eyes. So go ahead and inhale. As you exhale, look down, look up, look down, look up, look down, look up, center. Another breath in. Exhale, look far right, far left, far right, far left, far right, far left, center. Another breath in. Exhale, look down, far right, look up, far left, look down, center. Another breath in. Exhale, look down, far left, look up, far right, look down, center. Instead of stretching the eyes, let's next go and focus the eyes. Let's do Tratakan. Let's take the right arm out, shoulder height. Extend the finger, the first finger up towards the ceiling so that it's in line with the shoulder. Take your gaze to the fingertip. And then gently begin to bend the elbow and do your best to not blink as you stare at the fingertip and slowly bring it towards the nose. Take it back out slowly. No hard and fast rules, but we're trying not to blink. When the elbow is straight, take your gaze past the finger. Return your gaze to the fingertip, and then again, gently focus here. Bring the fingertip to the nose, back out again, slowly. When the elbow is straight, look past the finger. Bring your gaze back to the fingertip. Last time. Bend the elbow. Strengthening the rods, the cones, or the retinas. For healthy, healthy eyes, look past your fingertip. Go ahead and release your hands. Rub those palms together, building up some healing heat. Take the right palm and cup it over the right eye. Take the left palm and cup it over the left eye. Do your best to not let any light in between your fingertips or into the eye sockets. Go ahead and open the eyes and gaze into the black abyss of your palms. Sending healing energy to the eyes for all of the lights and screen time we have these days. We're so very grateful for this gift of sight to see. Healthy, healthy eyes. Go ahead and release your hands. Interlace those palms. Press them away from you. And then up overhead. Readjust the shoulders so the scapulas are drawing down the back. And then press the palms all the way up towards the heavens. Get long in the side ribs. Keep the chin parallel to the earth. Breathe slowly. Activate the ujjayi breathing, the slight constriction in the back of the epiglottis. This will engage our parasympathetic nervous system. We want this during our practice today. Go ahead and release the hands. Back out in front, bring the backs of the palms to touch. Take the right palm over the left, interlace the hands. Draw the hands close to the body and then back out again to your degree. Now everybody's different. Perhaps you can go a quarter of the way. Perhaps you can go halfway. Maybe you can even go all the way. The elbows straight. We're bringing our warm-ups from our fingertips to our wrists, elbows, bringing it all the way up to the shoulders for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale your hands back to center. Go ahead and trade sides. We're going to inhale our hands back up. This side may be different, so let's go ahead and honor where we are today. Go to your edge and then breathe gently here. Inhale, come back to center. Shake it out. Go ahead and extend the legs out in front of us. Remove the excess flesh from the sits bones. Really plug in to your mat. Draw your toes up towards the heavens. Activate the quads so that you're sitting tall. Bring your hands to your sides. If you want to come up and claw, that can be supportive. Let's go ahead and move to yoga for the toes. We're going to do toe cranks, so moving only the toes for forward and back. For 1, release, 2, release, 3, release, 4, release, 5, release, 6, and hold. Go ahead and release. We're going to take the right foot over the left. Interlace the toes. Just like we interlace the hands, you're going to do 1 toe, then 2 toes. 3 toes is fantastic. Go to your degree, have a little bit of fun with this. It's like a little puzzle. Go to your degree, and then when you get to where you are today, go ahead and squeeze. We're warming up. We're activating the nerve endings from the tip of the toes all the way up to the sciatic nerve. And release. Let's go ahead and switch sides. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Yoga for the toes. Interlace 1 toe, 2 toes, 3 toes. Go as far as you can. 4 and 5. Then squeeze. And release. Let's bring the warm up to the ankles. We're going to move the ankles forward and back for 1, release, 2, release, 3, release, 4, release, 5, release, 6, and hold. Go ahead and interlace, make circles first clockwise, then opposite direction. 4, 5, 6. Awesome. Let's bring the warm up all the way up into the knees. So bend the left knee, grab onto the elbows underneath, sit tall, and then let's make circles with our knees first clockwise. 3, 4, 5, 6, opposite direction. Go ahead and release your leg out in front. Take the right knee in towards the chest, sit tall, and then make circles clockwise. 3, 4, 5, 6, and then opposite direction. Go ahead and extend that leg. Warm up, bring the warm up to the quadriceps. So come up to the front of the mat. We'll take our right knee, take the right ankle in towards the left thigh, take the left ankle on the outside of the left hip. Go ahead and walk your hands back, and perhaps this is your pose today. Perhaps this is plenty stretch all along this big muscle. Maybe you can even come down to your forearms and support your upper body and let your head drop back. Maybe you even have the privilege to come fully down onto your spine, onto the floor. You can take your arms up overhead. Breathe slowly here. This should feel good. And 1. Let's go ahead and release our hands back down by our sides. We're going to come out slowly. Press into the elbows. Help the body upright. And then let's go ahead and switch to the other side. Taking our time, honoring that each side may feel different. This can depend on what we ate yesterday, how we slept, all the things. So coming down, finding your expression of the pose today. Giving space for your body to communicate with you, building our intimacy and self-love. Long, slow breaths here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your hands down back by your side. We're going to gently come all the way up to a comfortable standing position. Did I skip something? At the front of the mat. Bring your feet together. Go ahead and spend a few breaths here, feeling the earth supporting you underneath of your feet. Find a long spine. Get comfortable in the standing position. Visualize roots underneath of your feet, connecting you to the earth below, whether you're on the park floor or you're on the 15th floor. Just feel your body and the force of gravity drawing each of us towards the center of the earth's core. This slows us down enough in space to get to experience time. We're so very grateful to get to live on this planet and revolve around the sun. Next, let's bring our awareness, our space, into the space in between our mind's eye. I want you to visualize the last most beautiful sunrise or sunset. We'll move next into Surya Namaskar. Surya meaning sun, Namaskar. Surya meaning sun, Namaskar meaning respects to. Honoring the gifts that each of us receive from the mighty sun. All life on planet Earth receiving benefits from the sun. We'll move through 12 poses. Go ahead and open the eyes. Inhale deeply. Exhale, bring the hands to prayer position at heart center. Inhale, take your arms up overhead. Look up. Look back. Exhale, hinge forward at the waist. This is our first stretch of the day. Please, no overstretching here. It's okay to keep some bend in the knees if you're feeling tightness in the back of the thighs. You can grab onto your elbows here. You can bring your hands to your shins or the backs of your ankles. Maybe you can even bring your fingertips towards the earth. Let your head hang heavy as if the top of the skull is growing towards the top of your feet. Bring the weight towards the balls of your feet so that the backs of the legs are long and your sits bones are pointing up toward the heavens. If you can bring your fingertips to the mat, perhaps you have the privilege to bring your palms to the mat and turn your wrists around so that your fingertips are pointing back towards your heels. Your breath is slow and steady here. Bring your hands back facing forward. Let's go ahead and bring a nice gentle bend in the knees. Let's take the left leg back. Drop to the knee and to the top of the foot. Let's inhale. Draw the shoulders up and back. Let the arms hang to the side as we lunge forward into Ashwashan Shalanasana, equestrian pose. So we're balancing here underneath of our big toe, and we're taking our right knee in towards the midline of the body. Our chest is up towards the heavens. Our shoulders are back, and we're also balancing on our back left knee and the back of our left foot, the top of the back of our left foot. Our breath is slow and steady. We're lengthening all along the pelvis and the groins. Our gaze is up on the ceiling and as far back as is comfortable, and that we can breathe steadily. Lunge deeply into that front right knee. Release the hands back to the mat. We're going to tuck the toes. Exhale, take the right leg back to meet the left. This is our first mountain pose. In the West, we call this downward facing dog. In the Himalayas, where our teacher's from, they refer to this as mountain pose. The body's shaped like a mountain. So you're pressing all four corners of your palms into the earth. You've got your ankles, both heels, reaching towards the floor. It's okay if they don't reach the mat. That's just the intention, though. The energy is going down towards the earth. Notice that one heel might want to reach the floor more than the other. See if you can take both heels evenly towards the earth. Your sits bones are up towards the heavens. You're breathing slowly. Let your head hang heavy. Press the chest back towards your thighs. Take your sits bones up towards the ceiling, as if I have like a hook in your low back, and I'm drawing your pelvis up towards the ceiling. You can let your head and neck rock from side to side, as if you're saying no. You can shake your head yes, to just warm up and open up the grankies, the blockages in the head and neck. After your next exhalation, we're going to drop to our knees, chest, and chin, Ashtanga Namaskar. Your 2 toes, your 2 knees, 2 hands, chest and chin. 8-limb pose. I like to come up on my fingertips here, squeeze the elbows close towards the body. The gaze is down the nostrils. Drop your palms back down to the mat. Release the belly towards the earth. Slide your legs back, and then we'll slide our forearms onto the mat, and then inhale. Let the chest come through the shoulders, coming into a gentle back bend. We're going to stay here for Sphinx pose. So the top of the feet are on the mat. The chest is up towards the ceiling. The gaze is up towards the ceiling, in between the eyebrow center. And the breath is slow. After your next exhalation, we're going to release our head and neck back down, draw our hands underneath of our shoulders, tuck the toes, press into the palms, lift the hips back, returning to mountain pose. Press the heels down. Press both knees back towards the back wall evenly, noticing one might want to reach the back wall more than the other. Press evenly into all 4 corners of your palms. Draw the inner elbows in towards one another. Let's take the left foot in between the hands, drop to the right knee and the top of the right foot. This time as we inhale, roll the shoulders up and back, let the arms hang down by the side as we lunge into that front left leg. This time balancing on the back right foot and the top of the right knee. Take that left knee in towards the center of the body. Take the chest up towards the ceiling. Take your gaze up and as far back on the ceiling as is comfortable for you. Breathe slowly here. Release the hands to the mat, tuck the toes. On an exhalation, bring that right foot up to meet the left, forward fold. Let the head hang heavy, tuck the chin in towards the chest. The body's starting to warm up here, so maybe if you had your hands on your shins, maybe now you might be able to bring your hands towards your heels, or even your fingertips to the earth. Maybe you can even have the privilege to take your palms, turn your wrists around backwards and bring the palms towards the earth. Find what works for you, and then breathe slowly. Notice the difference as you bring the weight in towards the balls of your feet so that the backs of the legs are long. Let's bend the knees gently. Inhale, draw the arms up overhead. Look up and back, and then draw those hands through prayer position at the heart. Release the hands to the side. Wonderful. We'll do the same thing on the other side, this time moving with 12 breaths through 12 postures. Inhale deeply, open the eyes. Exhale, bring the hands through prayer position at the heart. Inhale, take your arms up overhead, look up and back. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, take the right foot back. Inhale, Shalanasana. Release the hands to the mat, tuck the toes. Exhale, Parvokonasana, mountain pose. The bottom of the exhalation, hold that breath out. Drop to the knees, chest and chin, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale. This time we're going to slide on into Cobra. You can keep your palms on the earth, open up the chest and look up. As we exhale, we're going to tuck the toes, drop the chest, lift your body, press the chest back into Parvokonasana. This time let's inhale, and take that right foot in between the hands, drop the top of the foot, coming into Shalanasana. Bring the hands back to the mat, tuck the toes. Exhale, forward fold. Bring the hands together, inhale. Look up and back. Exhale, prayer position. Release the hands to the side, close the eyes, take a nice cleansing breath in through the nose. Exhale slowly. And with your introspection, take your awareness to that space in between your mind's eye, in between your eyebrow center, about an inch up. And let's visualize the last most beautiful moon you've seen in the night sky. We've had a new moon this week. So soon we'll be seeing a crescent moon, like a little sliver of a moon in the evening sky. With the new moon comes opportunities to set intentions for this next moon cycle. The yogis offer respects to the other massive celestial body in our sky, the moon. As yogis, we believe that the moon also impacts the tides of our inner waters. Just like all of the waters of the earth are impacted by the phases of the moon, the yogis believe that we too have tides that rise and fall with the phases of the moon. So we practice Chandra Namaskar to tame the mind and make our mind our very best friend. So we'll move through these next rounds of Chandra Namaskar, similar as before, simply changing 4th and 9th postures. Inhale deeply, open the eyes. Exhale, bring the hands to prayer position at the heart. Inhale, take the arms up overhead, look up and back. Exhale, fold forward at the waist. Body in half. Bend the knees, take the left leg back, drop to the knee and the top of the foot. This time, bring the hands through prayer position at the heart. Take the arms up overhead as we lunge into that front knee. Now, yogi's choice here, you can keep your hands in steeple position or keep your arms parallel. This may feel better for you if you have a shoulder or neck injury. No hard and fast rules. Lunge as far as you can into that front knee. Take your chest up, take your gaze up towards the heavens. Breathe slowly here. Release your hands back to the mat, tuck the toes. Exhale, right leg back. Parvokonasana, mountain pose. Press that chest back towards your thighs. Reach those heels towards the earth. Let's go ahead and drop to knees, chest and chin, Ashtanga Namaskar. Go ahead and release the belly to the earth. Slide the legs down and back. Come to the tops of the feet. And then let's inhale, Cobra. Keep the elbows in close to the body. Take the chest up towards the heavens. Keep the butt soft. Look up in between your eyebrow center. We're going to tuck the toes, press into the palms. Exhale, lift those hips up and away. Returning to mountain pose, Parvokonasana. Take the left foot in between the hands. Drop to the right knee and the top of the right foot. Let's inhale our hands through prayer position at the heart and then overhead as we lunge into Chandra Namaskar. Staying relaxed in the face. See if you can smile on the face. Keeping a smile lets us know we're not overdoing it. If we can't smile and we're having trouble breathing, this is a sign from the body to back off some. Release your hands back to the mat. Tuck the toes. Exhale, bring that right foot up to meet the left. Forward fold. Bring a slight bend in the knees. Bring the hands together. Inhale. Arms up, look back. Exhale. Hands through heart position. Release the hands to the side. And do the same thing on the other side. This time moving 12 poses, 12 breaths. Inhale, open the eyes. Exhale, hands to prayer position of the heart. Inhale, take the arms up overhead, look up and back. Exhale, body in half. Bend the knees, right leg back. Inhale, hands through prayer position, Chandra Namaskar. Release the hands, tuck the toes. Exhale, Parvokonasana. The bottom of the exhalation, no breath. Knees, chest, and chin. Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, Cobra. Tuck the toes. Exhale, Parvokonasana. Right foot in between the hands. Inhale, Chandra Namaskar. Release the hands to the mat. Tuck the toes. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up overhead. Look up and back. Exhale, hands through prayer position. Release your hands to the side. Take a nice cleansing breath through the nose. Exhale long and slow. Let the breath return to normal. The body's starting to warm up here. See if you can find the beating of your heart. So very grateful for our healthy heart. Our heart began beating day 27 when we were inside of our mother's womb. Our heart was about the size of a thumb, which now it's about the size of our fist in the middle of our chest. The yogis believe that each time we roll out our mat and practice our asanas, we're cultivating self-love. We're building self-love, and with each pumping of the heart, we're cultivating and sending self-love to every cell of our body as we transform our body utilizing the earth elements, earth, air, water, fire, and ether. So very grateful for our healthy heart as we cultivate and grow self-love. Let's go ahead and open the eyes. We'll come into our first asana of today. Let's come into Uttasana, chair pose. So you're going to keep your feet and knees together. Bring the hands through prayer position at the heart, and then sit down as if you're going to sit into a chair. Do your best to keep your knees from not going past your toe line, and then sit down a little bit further. Take your arms up overhead, and again, no hard and fast rules. You can do steeple or parallel, but reach through those fingertips and then draw the shoulders down and back so you have a long spine. Squeeze the belly button back towards the spine. Sit down a little bit further. Lift your toes up off the mat, just your toes. Reach through the side ribs. See if you can adjust so that your chin is parallel to the earth. And then take your gaze in between your eyebrow center up towards the heavens. Breathe slowly here. In the final pose, you're listening to the symphony of your breath. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale. Release. Exhale. Release your hands down back behind you. Interlace your hands down behind you. Draw the shoulders down and back. And then exhale, fold forward, hinging at the waist. See if you can take your hands as far away from your low back as is possible for you. Drop the chin in towards the chest. Bring the weight towards the balls of your feet. Let the head hang heavy as if the top of the head is growing towards the top of the feet. This should feel good. It's a nice counter pose to what we just did. Release your hands back towards your sides. Bend your knees. We're going to roll out of this slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Bring your hands to prayer position at the heart. Continuing with our chair series, we're going to move into some side chair, and this brings massage to the inner organs. So bring the hands to prayer position, bring the feet and knees together, and we'll start out massaging our stomach. So inhale deeply, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, begin to bend the knees. Take the left elbow on the outside of the right thigh. Turn the head and neck. Stack the elbows. Twist the head and neck. Look up past your right shoulder. Sit down a little bit further. You can stay here. You can also keep that left elbow on the outside of your right knee. Take your fingertips towards the ground and then take your right arm up towards the heavens. Open up the shoulder, look up past those right fingertips. You can stay here. You can also bend that right elbow and take your right hand on the outside of your left hip. You might have a bind. To your degree, breathe slowly for 3, 2, and 1. We're going to inhale. Bring our hands back up through prayer position. Exhale slowly. We'll do the same thing on the other side, this time bringing lots of loving attention to our hardest internal detox organ, our mighty, mighty liver. Inhale deeply. Exhale, take the right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Twist the head and neck, press that elbow into that left thigh. Look up over the left shoulder for a nice, gentle massage to the base of the brainstem. Feel free to stay here. You can also take those right fingertips to the earth, keeping that right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Take the left fingertips up towards the heavens. Reach through those fingertips. You can also bend the elbow and find your bind. Or prep for the bind. Smile on the face for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, back to prayer position. Take a nice cleansing breath in through the nose. Exhale slowly. Return the breath to normal. Let's continue into our table series. So we'll take a few steps back on our mat. Bring the feet together. Inhale the arms up overhead, parallel or steeple. And then as we exhale, hinge at the waist. Bend forward, coming into 90 degrees, but then pause there at 90 degrees. Reach through those fingertips. Have your ears be parallel to the biceps. Your gaze is down past your nose on your mat in front of you. The backs of the legs are long. Feel strong like a table. Activate your side body. Reach through those fingertips. Engage your core. Squeeze that belly button back towards the spine. Get strong here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your hands to prayer position. We're going to bend the knees gently. Make foundation on your left leg. Bend your right knee and send the right leg back behind you. Keep your hips and shoulders square. Activate. Press through your heel and your right foot so that your right big toe is in alignment with the midline of the body. You can stay here if you have a neck or shoulder injury. However, if you feel free to go to the next phase, take your hands up overhead or reach towards the front of the room. Building strength here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come back up. We're going to pendulum that right leg up and through. So you're going to lift that right leg. See if you can get it as high as that hip bone. See if you can get that right big toe as high as that hip bone. It's a balance pose here. Have some fun. Smile at the shake of the leg, knowing that it's only going to last for a while. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release. Shake it out. Great job, yogis. Let's find some bend in the knees. We're going to find a strong foundation in that right standing foot. Bring your hands to prayer position. Take the left leg, kick it back behind you. Pendulum forward. So you're pressing through that left heel. The left big toe is in alignment with the midline of the body. The hips and the shoulders are square. You can keep your arms here, or if you feel available, to reach those arms up overhead towards the front of the room. Reach, reach, reach. And then bring the hands back to prayer position. And let's take that left leg all the way through. Lift it up. Smile at the shake of the leg. And release. Woo! Shake it out. Great job, yogis. So let's take our feet mat distance. We're going to come to hurricane, tree in the hurricane. So inhale the arms up overhead. Take your right hand and grab your left wrist. Inhale, lengthen through the left side as we shoot our left hip out away from us. Pull, pull, pull using the strength of your right arm, and then take your right armpit slightly more forward than the left. Turn the head next so that your gaze is past your left bicep, and then see if you can pull, pull, pull a little bit more. Inhale, come back to center. We're going to switch sides. Lengthen. Shoot that hip out. Make the adjustments. Take your left armpit more forward than the right. Look past your right bicep for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, and then exhale, release. Bring your feet 5 inches away from one another. Inhale, the arms up, overhead, lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward, fold forward. Padahastasana, hands to feet pose. Now if you have tightness behind your legs and your hands are to your shins or your ankles, stay there. For those of us that can take our hands underneath of our feet, we want to get our fingers underneath of our toes. Maybe we can get our palms all the way underneath of our feet, and we can press down onto our palms and massage our wrists with our big toes. Press down underneath of that big toe mound, straighten the elbows, and then lift the sits bones up towards the heavens. Tuck the chin in towards the chest. If you have the privilege to have your hands underneath of your feet, you can bend your elbows and use the strength of your arms to pull your chest closer towards your thighs. Go ahead and release. If you had your hands on your shins or the back of your ankles, stay there. For the rest of us, we're going to take our peace fingers. We're going to wrap them around our big toes. Press down underneath your big toe mounds. Straighten your elbows and then inhale, look up. Take your gaze on the floor in front of you. See if you can pay attention to where the floor meets the wall in front of you. See if you can take your gaze about a quarter of the way up the wall. Maybe you can go halfway up the wall. Maybe you can even look to see where the wall in front of you meets the ceiling in front of you. Getting a nice upper back bend here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your head and neck. Take your feet wide. We're going to take them hips distance apart. We're going to take them mats distance apart. Let's keep the head and neck hanging forward. This time though, we're going to draw our arms back around our legs. Let the head hang heavy, and then bring your hands back towards the back of the skull, almost like you're palming your ears. You're pulling your head closer towards the ground. Your legs are going to be bent. See if you can lift your toes up off the mat, just your toes. And then draw your sits bones up towards the heavens. Begin to straighten your legs. This should feel good. Two and 1. Go ahead and release your hands. Take your palms back out to the mat. Walk your feet back, coming into Parvokonasana, mountain pose. Take your left heel towards the earth. Bend your right knee. Straighten that right elbow. Bend the left knee. Straighten your right knee. Take your right heel towards the earth. Take both heels towards the earth. Press evenly into all 4 corners of your palms. This time let's lift the left leg up and back behind us. Keep the hips and shoulders square. The left big toes in the midline is in alignment with the midline of the body. Straighten that right elbow. Press down into all 4 corners of your right palm. Lift your left leg a little bit more. As you exhale, swing it on through in between your hands. We're going to prepare, bring our right heel to the earth. Let's inhale the chest up as we prepare our body for Virabhadrasana 1. So the hips and shoulders are square. We're lunging into that front leg. Our back toes are at about 2 p.m. Our heel is down on the mat. Take the hands through prayer position and then up overhead. Yogi's choice. See if you can turn your right armpit slightly more forward than the left. Engage the belly. Keep a smile on the face, and then take your gaze in between the eyebrow center. Shambhali Mudra. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's inhale, transform the body, open up to the side wall. So make an adjustment in that back hip. I like to move my right foot back just a couple inches. My hips and shoulders are now square to the side wall. I glance back to make sure that my front and back arms are at the same height. Turn the head and neck to the left so that we're gazing down the left fingertips, and then bend, lunge into that front knee. Virabhadrasana 2. Warrior 2 position. Inhale the right arm forward, Avaya Virabhadrasana. Lunge towards that front thigh, but be careful to not collapse the chest and belly onto that front thigh. Smile at the shake of the leg. Avaya Virabhadrasana, fearless warrior. Release the left hand to the inside of the mat, on the inside of the foot. Open up the chest, take the right arm up towards the heavens. I like to wiggle my back foot back some so that I can drop my pelvis towards the earth. Should feel good here. If you have it in you and you can bend that right arm and take the right hand on the outside of the left hip, or find your bind, go ahead and do so. Go ahead and release your hands. Drop to the knee. We're going to heel toe. Let's do Kandanyasa. So take your hands shoulder distance apart, just underneath of your shoulders. As you bend the elbows, your left elbow is going to hook into that left inner thigh. Your right elbow is going, yes, excuse me. You're gonna walk your right knee back, and then as you bring your weight forward, you can hook that right hip bone into that right elbow, and then begin to play with your balance by lifting one toe, then the other. Give it a few tries. A is for attempt. And then after you've given it a few tries, let's everybody meet in child's pose, Balasana. Let your forehead come to the mat, let your hips come to the earth, towards your heels. Take a nice cleansing breath in through the nose. Exhale slowly. Return the breath to normal. Visualizing the big beautiful brain as it rests inside the skull. So very grateful for our brain, our spinal column, our entire nervous system. The auditory nerves, and visual nerves allow you to see and hear what I'm saying. It takes these impulses to the brain, and then the brain and the intellect. The intellect makes sense of what I'm saying so that you can move your body into these poses and practice with us. I'm so very grateful for the mind, its intellect, and all the neurotransmitters and the processes that happen without us ever thinking about it. So very grateful for this brain and our healthy nervous system. When you're ready, and only when you're ready, let's go ahead and meet back up into Parvokonasana, mountain pose, so that we can do the same thing on the solar side. The last sequence we did honoring our lunar side, our feminine side. So this time we'll bring balance to our body by doing the same sequence on the masculine side. So go ahead and take the left heel to the earth, take the right leg up, back behind you, straighten the left elbow, press through the right heel, lift your right leg a little bit higher, exhale, swing it on through, take the left heel to the earth, your toes are at about 10 p.m. As we inhale and lunge into that front leg, our hips and shoulders are square. Let's take our arms up overhead as we settle on into Virabhadrasana 1. Take the left armpit more forward than the right. Reach through the fingertips. Lengthen through the side body. Activate your left quad, so we're taking good care of the knee. And then take your gaze in between your eyebrow center. Shambhali Mudra. Inhale, let's transform the body. Open up towards the side wall. Take the left foot back some. As we glance back briefly to make sure that our front and back arms are at the same height, lunge into that front right leg. Turn the head and neck to look down, those right fingertips. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2 position. Inhale the left arm forward, Avaya Virabhadrasana. Keep the belly from collapsing on that front thigh. Strengthen in the legs. Smile at the shake of the legs, saying, good day, femur bone. For 3, 2, and 1. Release the right hand on the inside of the foot on the floor. Open up the chest. Take the left arm up towards the heavens. I like to wiggle my left toes back some so I can drop that pelvis towards the earth. Exhale. Bend the left elbow. Take your left palm to the outside of your right hip. You can stay there. You can also find your bind if that's available for you. And if you can, please open up the shoulder. Take your heart towards the heavens. For 3, 2, 1. Release your hands, drop to the knee, heel toe, heel toe. Let's come to Kandanyasa on the other side, arm balance pose. So hands are in prayer, hands are in push-up position. Bring the weight towards the front of the mat. Bend the elbows and notice from there's a hook. That right elbow into that left inner thigh. As you walk your left knee back, you'll be able to hook that left elbow into that left hip bone. And then begin to play with lifting your toe off the mat. Have some fun. Find your version of it today. And then keep the spirit of the yogis. Keep a positive mindset, knowing that as we stick with it, we will eventually get it. The yogis, we say, maybe next week, maybe next month, maybe next year. But always staying mindful and positive, so to the best of our ability. So taking some nice slow breaths with the forehead resting on the floor. Returning to the beating of the heart. See if you can find that sound within the body. See if you can visualize it taking fresh oxygen from the lungs, the lower lobes, the middle lobes, the upper lobes. For each breath we take in through our nostrils, the nose, the trachea, and there we purify and send it to the lungs, where then it just purifies this fresh oxygen and sends it off to the heart, where then this fresh oxygen mingles with the blood, and then the blood sends it to every cell in our body. So very, very grateful for the brilliant intelligence of the body. It works so well for us, day in and day out, without us even having to take consideration for it. However, in this mindful practice, we do. And in this moment, let us express to ourselves appreciation and gratitude for our healthy, healthy lungs. When you're ready, let's everybody come into tabletop position, your hands underneath of your shoulders, your knees underneath of your hips. We'll just do 3 rounds of cat-cow here to your degree, at your pace. As you inhale, drop the belly, stick the hips out, take your gaze up and back. Exhale, round everything, tuck the chin, draw the pelvis in, really exaggerate it. 2 more at your pace. How slow and exaggerated can you go? Pause at center when you're complete. Let's take our left hand and reach it up towards the front of the room, about shoulder height. Reach through those fingertips. And then let's go ahead and take the right foot and lift it up. Press through the right heel. Have it be about hips height. Press through the right heel. And so you're lengthening through the fingertips and the feet. Feel the long spine. You can stay here, feel strong in the belly. You can also reach back around with that left hand, grab for the ankle, lift, kick that foot back and away. And you can see if you can look over that left shoulder towards your left foot. And 1, release. Great job, yogis. Go into your degree, going slow. Return to center here. This time, let's take our right arm and reach it towards the front of the room. The back of the neck is long, so we're looking down on our mat just underneath of our nose. Lift the left leg, press through the heel. Reach, really elongate out of those hip sockets and shoulder sockets. And then bend the knee and reach back with the arm. Grab the ankle, kick that foot up and away, and then turn the head and neck over that right shoulder. For 3, 2, and 1. Release. Beautiful. Let's come back onto our heels. We're going to find our squats position, whether you're up on your heels or you're down. Yogi's choice. Let's everybody press into our knees, bring our hands into prayer position. That in itself, it really relieves the low back. It's a beautiful posture. Feel free to stay here. You can also play with, let's take our right hand. Let's keep the shoulder in front of the right knee. We'll bring our hand to about 2 p.m. If we were on a clock, and then take the left arm up. Twist the head and neck, look up past the fingertips. You can stay here. You can also bend that left elbow. Take your right hand on the outside of your right hip. You can bend that right elbow and see if you can have a bind available. Open up the shoulder, look up. And nice twist for the spine. Let's go ahead and release. Come back to prayer position at the heart. And then let's take the left hand, keep the left shoulder in front of the left knee, take the left hand to 10 p.m. Inhale the right arm up towards the heavens. Reach through the fingertips. You can stay here. You can also bend that right elbow, take it towards the left hip, and then you can bend the left elbow and take a wrap around. And then see if you can Take your peace fingers together for a bind back behind your left hip. And then open up that right shoulder, look up. Release, bring your hands to prayer position. Let's come into crow pose, or our version of it for today. So this is an arm balance, and we want everybody to give it a try. So your hands are going to come out in front of you, and you're going to be in your squats pose. Your hands are about shoulder distance apart. You want to be able to bend the elbows, lift the hips, and then take your knees on the outside of the triceps. Take your weight forward and then begin to play here. This is where it's fun, lifting one toe, then the other. It's really about building 90 degrees or shelves with those arms that you can just rest the knees on. So when you get it, it feels easy. It can feel like a struggle at first, and that's just keep trying. Perhaps you have a safe and stable headstand position in the middle of the room. Go ahead and give it a try. If you have it from crow into headstand, you can go into tripod headstand. Otherwise, just keep trying, everybody. After you've given it a few tries, or if you're in your headstand, let's go ahead and everybody come back down. And we'll share in an inversion practice. Now let me say that if you have a safe and experienced headstand practice in the middle of the room and you'd like to do that, by all means, any variation, any version can work for you. If you have a safe headstand practice at the wall and you'd like to do that, by all means, please do so. For those of us that prefer to do shoulder stand or queen pose, Evan is going to demonstrate that. So he comes from laying on their back, and then you can swing your legs up overhead, keeping the elbows in close to the body. The hands serve as support on the low back. It should feel comfortable. Your heels and your toes are together. The chin is in towards the chest, and your gaze is in between the big toe mounds. Your breath is slow and steady, and every organ, whether you're in headstand or shoulder stand, every organ is smiling because we're getting a reverse in blood flow. We're using gravity to our benefit. Whether you're in headstand or shoulder stand, let's everybody take the legs wide. Inhale, come back to center. Let's take one leg forward and one leg back. Let's take the legs back up towards the center or the ceiling, and then switch sides. Let's take both legs back up towards the center. If you're in headstand position, you can do eagle pose. If you're in shoulder stand, let's come into plow pose. See if we can get both feet overhead towards the earth. It's okay if your feet don't touch the earth. However, if they do, you have the privilege to release your hands from your low back. Interlace your hands and draw them away from you towards the mat. It should feel good. Breathing slowly. Let's release our hands to the low back. And then allow your knees to come down by your side, the side of your head. And we're going to roll out slowly. If you're in headstand, you're going to come down gently, keeping your core active. Come down slowly. Coming out with control is just as important as being in the pose. So if you find that you're falling out, maybe you could have come down slowly or slower or more soon. So that's just some feedback, and engage yourself without judgment and criticism. Just understand. So let's everybody, we're gonna meet on a back lying position in a mini shavasana. Let the head and neck rock from side to side and back to center a couple times to revert or to counter some of the stress from the inversion practice in our head and neck. We're going to bring our hands close to the thighs. You can also bring your palms underneath of your butt. We're going to come into fish pose. So as you inhale, lift your head and chest up off the mat. Come up onto your elbows and then come to rest on the top of your head. Your gaze is down your nose. Your lower set of teeth is past your upper set of teeth. Your feet and your big toe mounds are together, pressing down and away from you. Breathing slowly. Go ahead, come out gently. The hands come to the side, rock the head and neck from side to side and back to center. Let's go ahead and bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet to the mat, close to the bum. We're going to take our arms down by our sides, palms facing down. And as we inhale, we're going to press into our feet and lift our hips away, coming up into bridge pose. Reach through those fingertips as if you're reaching towards your toes. You can stay here, or if you have your full chakrasana wheel position, you can take your hands up overhead, press into your palms and lift your whole body up and away, like Evan is demonstrating. When you're ready, come back down. Extend your legs out. Let your head and neck rock from side to side and back to center. Take the left leg and line it up with the hip bone of your body. Extend it directly out from the left hip bone. Take your right foot, bend the right knee, and bring the right heel up onto the right or onto the left quad. You can take your left hand on the outside of your right thigh. If you have eagle legs, you can make eagle with your legs, but we're going to help that right knee. You can take your right arm directly out from your right shoulder, and then you're going to help that right knee come over the left side of the body, and then turn the head and neck down the right arm. Look down towards your right fingertips. See if you can take your right palm facing down on the mat. Breathing into your low back as we counter any stress we may have accumulated in the body during our practice. Long, slow, steady breaths here. Inhale, come back to center. Squeeze the knee in towards your chest. And then extend that leg flat onto the mat out. Go ahead and bend the left knee and bring it onto the right thigh. Extend the left arm out directly the height of your shoulder. Take your right arm on the outside of your left knee, and then help that left knee over the right side of your body. You can also do eagle pose with your legs to help your twist. Breathing gently as you look down your left arm towards your fingertips for a nice, gentle massage to the base of the brainstem, all the way down the spine to the tail. After your next exhalation, we're going to release our hands. Inhale the legs back up to center. And let's everybody make any final adjustments, and then let's extend our legs out long onto the mat, about 18 inches away from each other. Let your arms be to the sides, palms facing up, about 8 to 12 inches away from your side hips. Remove your hair bun if you have one, ladies and gents. Let's prepare for our final resting position, Shavasana. I'd like to lead us through an active relaxation. So go ahead and lift your left foot up off the mat 2 inches, point the toes, flex the foot, tighten the calf, and then flop. Lift the right foot up off the mat 2 inches, point, flex, flop. Squeeze the buttocks and then draw the belly button back towards the spine. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then relax and release your entire hips and pelvic region. Inhale, take a nice full breath up the side ribs. Bring that breath all the way up to your chest and shoulders. Exhale, open the mouth, let out a nice. Close the mouth and return the breath to normal. Keeping the back of the neck on the back of the head on the floor, drop the chin into the chest, chin into the chest, chin into the chest, and release. Let the head and neck rock from side to side and back to center. Make a fist with the left hand, lift it 2 inches up off the mat, squeeze, and release. Make a fist with the right hand, lift it up 2 inches up off the mat, squeeze, and release. Inhale, draw up all the energy towards the face. Squeeze your tongue, squeeze your teeth, squeeze your ears, squeeze your eyes. And then exhale, stick out the tongue, bug out the eyes. Lion's breath. Close your mouth, relax the face, return the breath to normal. Inhale, take the breath all the way up the body to the top of the head, to the brain, to every hair on your head. Squeeze your forehead, squeeze your brains, squeeze, 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 tighten everything, and then release. Relax your forehead, relax your brow center. Allow everything to relax. Turn your attention to that space on the upper lip where the breath moves in and out of the nostrils. This time I'd like for you to see if you can remain the observer, simply witness without trying to change a thing. Next, let's bring your awareness to the belly button, the navel region, and notice As you breathe naturally, there's a gentle rise and fall of the navel center. Inhale, navel up. Exhale, navel down. And so with your mind's eye, we're going to count backwards at your pace from 10 to 1. Inhale, navel up, 10. Exhale, navel down, 10. Inhale, navel up, 9. Exhale, navel down, 9. Inhale, navel up, 8. Exhale, navel down, 8. At your pace, all the way down to 1. Wherever you are, go ahead and release the counting. Allow yourself to simply be. Feeling relaxed from bone to skin. Your entire body is relaxed. Draw your awareness back into the physical, allowing your breath to grow big inside of your body. Feel it expanding in and around you. Take your thumb and touch each fingertip. As you're ready, Inhale your arms up overhead, stretch long into this new moment. However you get there, we're going to all end up over on our right side. Pausing in fetal position. You can use your left arm as your pillow. You can take your right arm as your pillow. You can take your left hand to the belly. Offer yourself some appreciation. Give yourself some gratitude for rolling out the mat and showing up for yourself today. What an honor to share in this practice together. Cultivating our self-love so that when we walk out in the world today, people will notice something's different. They say that our yoga teacher reminds us that the more we do Surya Namaskars, the respects to the sun, that we develop attributes like the sun. The sun is friendly and warm, it smiles. So we'll take this sun-like energy out into the world and people will notice it today. When you're ready, and only when you're ready, you're going to take that left palm and press it into the earth and help your body upright, coming into a comfortable seated position facing forward. Returning to how we began, taking the hands to the thighs. As you close your eyes, simply become aware of how you feel. And without judgment, simply remember what it was like when you first started. And so I bring this up as an acknowledgement of the practice and transformation, how we have transformed in mind, body, and spirit. What a blessing. Let's inhale, take our arms out wide, gathering up so much mana, all up overhead. Bring the hands back through prayer position at the heart, the light in me, bows to the light in you. Namaste. Mahalo and Aloha, that means thank you so much here in Hawaii. We are so honored to share in this practice with you. We'll be live again on Monday, so tune back in, set your reminders. We have them here on Live Yoga channel so that you don't miss out on our live practices. We'll be on the channel again next Wednesday for chair yoga, as well as the Trust Your Guts Club, where we talk about yoga for the organs and all things digestive health. So thanks again. If you liked something, leave us a comment. Tell your friends and loved ones, whether you're doing this live or on the replay. What an honor to share with you. A hui ho, it means until we meet again, aloha.